Welcome to the Sabra Recipe Makeover. Today, one of the Sabra brand ambassadors picked meatloaf. What a great pick, because everybody has a meatloaf recipe. My mom has a meatloaf recipe. I'm sure your mom has a meatloaf recipe. And so we're gonna do something a little bit different with our meatloaf today. Here we go, we have a nice onion. Dice your onion really nice. When you cook this onion, we're gonna cook it in a little bit butter, but we're also gonna add a little bit of oil to it. So keep that hot. That's a cool sound, ain't it? Well, that's browning. We're gonna prep a couple other things. We're gonna use some ground beef today, and we're gonna add some different spices and different flavorings to it. Okay, so you have some coriander seed and some cumin seed. You don't want to go too heavy on cumin because it can overpower the dish. You got to have salt and pepper in this. So we're going to add a little bit of sriracha into the beef. Then we're going to add an egg. An egg is definitely going to give this a little bit of richness. It's going to bind it a little bit. These onions basically are just about ready. And just all of it right in there. That's all flavor. It's all good stuff. So you got these beautiful onions, the egg, spices, and then we're gonna do one last thing, scallions. We used to have contests in the restaurant. Who could cut the most scallion the thinnest at the same time? I got up to about 7 in my day. Since I opened my big mouth, now I have to cut these really thin for you. That goes into the meatloaf. You have to kind of get your hand in there, and you have to squeeze in, and you have to squeeze the meat. You're gonna add a little bit of oil to the sheet pan. This happens to be, I think, looks like a non-stick sheet pan to me, but just because of habit. You're gonna coat this pan with a little bit of oil. Now your hand is also coated with the same oil. Now you can form your meatballs, and that oil is also gonna give it a nice coat and glaze to the meatloaf. And you wanna kind of pack it a little bit. You wanna get the air out of it. Press, all right? There you go, right there. Now they go right into the oven, 400 to 500 degrees. It's gonna take maybe 10 to 15 minutes to cook. And the longer you cook it well done, the more drier the meatloaf is gonna be. And that's why classically I think they had the heavy ketchup and the heavy tomato paste tops to kind of offset that. But you don't need to have that if you cook it right. While you're waiting, you can cut your garnish. The scallion in the middle is hollow, and I can see it through the scallion. If I put it through here, you could probably see the refrigerator. So you take this and slice right through the middle. Now you can cut really thin. 150, there you go. So we're gonna take this and we're gonna sit it aside for just a minute. So we have these nice, really thinly sliced scallions, right? Taking the scallions and putting it in the ice water and just letting it sit there a couple of minutes. They really kind of perk up, and they will actually curl this just a little bit, and it's a pretty cool effect. All right, so it's been a couple of minutes. Let's start to slice it, and we're just gonna plate it. We're gonna put a little bit more sriracha onto the meatloaf. So we're also gonna use Sabra's roasted red pepper hummus. And the roasted red pepper in this really adds a nice depth of flavor. And this is kind of a fun part. Take it, boom, slap it right on the board. It knocks all the water out. So what you wanna do is put that right on top of your meatloaf, right there. And then what you wanna do is eat it. Great looking meatloaf. Let's go, guys. Time to eat.